Welcome to the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove, where the fence world gets real, raw, and unfiltered. Billy's not just an industry leader, he's a hands-on pro who knows what it takes to build quality fences and strong teams. So grab a cold one, settle in, and get ready for straight talk about the trade. Today's show is brought to you by Mr. Fence Academy, National Metal Industries, J.C. Gurry Signs and Decals, and Orlando Hinge Company. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there in Facebook world, YouTube, and even Twitch, guys? I hope everybody has had a wonderful past week. Enjoyed Christmas, had an awesome Christmas, spent some time with family, and all that. We got a great show lined up for you guys tonight, and we are not going to be talking about 2026. We're going to be talking about, let's see, stop forecasting and start fixing. So we do have an awesome show lined up for you guys. First and foremost, we do have to give a huge shout out to our sponsors who make this thing happen every single week. First and foremost, we got Mr. Fence Academy, guys. If you're in the market to up the level of your fence company, whether it be the business side or the installation side, go check out www.mrfenceacademy.com. Excuse me, I'm getting a little bit sick here. Like it's been going around. Secondly, we have National Metal Industries, guys. They just released a new aluminum handrail box kit. Comes in 6 foot wide or 8 foot wide sections, 3 foot tall, black and white. Go check them out at www.nmifence.com. You can also find vinyl, chain link, aluminum, ornamental iron, some fence tools, some privacy slats. You can find all sorts of my stuff over there. So go check them out over at www.nmifence.com. Thirdly, we got J.C. Gurry. If you guys are still looking for somewhere to purchase fence signs for, look no further. Go check out J.C. Gurry at www.jcgurry.com. Get you some signs made. They all come with Mylar lamination, so that way they look good 10 years down the road. Last but not least, Orlando Hinge Company, aka the Swan Hinge. I just had the opportunity of using one on Christmas Eve to wrap up my customers' gates. That way they could let their dogs out for Christmas. They absolutely work, guys. They lift gate leafs uphill. Like if you're still trying to figure out on site what to do with it without a Swan Hinge, I highly recommend going to www.swanhinge.com and picking yourself up one and giving it a try, man. Actually put it to the test and see what it'll do. I've used probably now, I don't know, 10 to 15 sets now, and I have yet to have a problem or a complaint about it. So go check them out at www.swanhinge.com. Boom. All right, guys. So we're back from Christmas. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. So the first of 2026 is, let's see, Thursday. But we're not going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk about some different things going into the new year, and that's about fixing your problems before we start planning for everything. And hold on, I scrolled too far in my notes, so I'm going to kind of ramble here for a second. Let me see. Oh, there we go. So the focus for like tonight is going to be, like I said, stop forecasting and start fixing. You can forecast all you want and make all of the number plans that you want, but if your core problems are still there in your fence company, fence business, growing is just going to magnify those problems. So we're going to go ahead and kick off segment 1, which I have titled Why Forecasting Feels Good. Forecasting feels productive even whenever it's really just avoidance of an actual problem. Um, Forecasting also gives hope without friction, and friction is what it creates fire. And we all want to have a fire year, right? So it also avoids the uncomfortable conversations that we're going to have, and it also lets us feel busy without being honest with ourselves. So, forecasting has its time and place. But as far as my focus right now, I want to fix the issues that would make the engine fail at the end of the day as we grow, right? Um, so, uh, for instance, if you have a problem like with efficiency on the job sites and we're trying to add more crews, we probably shouldn't add more crews until we can get that efficiency on the job site problem fixed, right? So that's a real thing right there. Um, and there are times whenever I've planned instead of fixed, and obviously it's one of the reasons why I don't own my own fence company anymore, and I work with a fence company. But making sure that you have your fail problems fixed is a big thing. I mean, like, is there anything that you guys who are watching are avoiding? Go ahead and drop it in the comments if you feel comfortable with that. But for the most part, we're all human beings. We all know whenever we have a problem, and we all know whenever something needs to be addressed. Sometimes we just sweep it under the rug and let it go because we have other bigger problems going on at the time being. So, just put that out there. Um, we're gonna go on to number two. And like I said, guys, this is gonna be a kind of a shorter episode. I really don't feel good. Kind of getting sick. There's a flu, cold going around. It sucks. But I did put some time into this and make it to where we can talk about this pretty quickly and make the points known. Um, so the systems, so like, say for instance, we use the fishing trip thing. Like, can you go on a 2 week long fishing trip or a month long fishing trip and you not contact the business and your business be okay? Right. So that's the old saying right there. So for instance, systems that only work when you're there. I mean, that's a good and bad problem to have. uh, that just means that more training needs to go in, and you need to find more leaders. Prices that don't really support reality at the end of the day. We always talk about raising prices, but don't be stupid with it. Making sure that you got your pricing, your sales system dialed in is big. I mean, we talk about that a lot, right? Uh, Leadership that hasn't evolved. Say that you saw something in a guy 6 7 months ago, and it's not come to fruition as you had thought. Maybe it's time to accept that fact and find another potential person for that role that you were trying to put him in. Say you're trying to move an installer to a co-foreman, or a co-foreman to an installer, like that. Like, if make those hard choices. Like we were talking about earlier, like, if something is broke, now is the time to fix it before making all these huge plans and setting goals. Just identifying your problems at the end of the day, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, and making sure that that there is something to fix, and we need to attack it head on. Maybe you haven't actually taken the time to have your guys trained in a while. Maybe it's time to, slow down to speed up, and get your guys and yourself to a training and learn some new techniques or new processes, or just sharpen the like knife, so to speak, sharpen the axe, so to speak, and make sure that everybody's up to date on that. Like, I know we have a lot of new guys. a couple, like I didn't mean to say a lot, but like we have a couple new guys who started during kind of a busy period in the slow season where we were just trying to get stuff knocked out. So a lot of their processes and procedures got skipped. I mean, they have seen what to do, but they have not been like drilled into them yet. So, like little things like that you overlook just when you get busy and you got to get shit done. And, you know, you don't have time to slow down to like speed up at that very time. Say, for instance, you got a brand new hire and the past couple days he's been trying to learn how to use a skill saw, right? Today is not the day to learn how to use a skill saw, bud. Like I just need you to pick stuff up and put stuff down. There are days like that, and it does happen. But that's really what I'm talking about. Maybe we find some communication breakdowns, whether it be the office to the field, the owner to the team, vice versa. It can go all sorts of ways, like the office to the client, the field to the client. Finding out where there's a breakdown in the communication and working on that stuff before setting goals. Now, I'm not saying that setting goals is not something that you should not be doing, but you should probably have a process or a plan to fix these problems as you're setting your goals, right? So make sure that you have a checklist of stuff that you need to fix and make sure that you're sticking to them. That's huge. Make sure that you're actually sticking to it. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back in 3 minutes.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. J.C. Gurry Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, J.C. Gurry specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgurry.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgurry.com. Struggling with a gate that drags on your sloped yard? Orlando Hinge Company has the solution, the Swan Hinge. Unlike standard hinges, the Swan Hinge lets double drive gates swing open smoothly up inclines, eliminating dragging and binding. Easy to install on vinyl, aluminum, wood, and chain link gates. It's built for durability and made to withstand the elements. And when your customer hears that, yes, their gates can work on a slope, you just made the sale. The Swan Hinge, designed by fencers for fencers. Made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Order today at swanhinge.com or email info@orlandohingecompany.com. The Swan Hinge, because every gate deserves to open smoothly.
All right, guys, we are back, and we do have to go ahead and mention once again, if you were looking to up the level of your fence company, whether it be the business side or the installation side, guys, go check out Mr. Fence Academy at www.mrfenceacademy.com. And again, we are talking about fixing problems before going towards setting huge like financial goals or setting huge plans for the next year whenever you already know you have problems. So speed without structure creates chaos. And this was kind of something that I was talking about in the Monday morning meeting. Like I mentioned right before the break, there's a couple new guys who just haven't really had the whole job site SOP drilled into their brain yet, just because we've been on a couple crazy jobs right as they got started. But fixing those problems before going into the new year, saying, "Hey guys, I need you guys to hit X amount of dollars." Just because I made this new goal for us this year, like we need to make sure that we have those problems under wraps. We have uh, current and proper plans in place to get those problems fixed. And then let's plan for the new year. Let's plan to go buy that new truck. Let's make like budgets to, get a new driver, get a new trailer, whatever like it is that you need at the end of the day. But if we don't have those problems fixed before we start making plans and we start growing, the whole motor, so to speak, is going to internally just break down, fall apart, right? You're going to be calling yourself a tow truck to come pick you up so that way you can turn the lights on the next day, so to speak. Um, Confidence creates momentum, and this is a big one. This is for those leaders there and those guys that you pour into more than you pour into the others. Making sure that you guys are or that your guys are confident doing what they're doing day in and day out, so that way they can go win on the battlefield, because that's where, or the job site is where the real battle is won at the end of the day. So just making sure that those guys are confident doing what they're doing. The sales team is confident doing what they're doing. The office team is confident doing what they're doing as well. And you just get it all in a big snowball effect, and you just compound win after compounding win. You just keep rolling down that huge hill, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, Stability is a huge thing, and that creates confidence, what we were just talking about. So making sure that, going into the new year, if your biggest problem that you had the past year was not having resources on hand or supplies on hand and having to go somewhere every single morning to go pick up supplies, if you can cut that out and make plans for that to fix that major problem, now we can make some real plans to buy that truck or to buy that driver or to buy that mini skid that you were looking at. So, this is kind of the things that I'm really like kind of digging into and stuff like that. Let's see. Fixing stuff is not a setback; it's an investment at the end of the day, and I truly do like believe that. Taking care of what you already got, I mean, that's already been beaten to our heads for most people, 99% of the people out there. To if you take care of what you got, it'll last longer. And that goes all the way down to the bottom line. Like taking care of trucks and trailers and drivers or augers or uh, whatever tools that actually take maintenance, making sure that those are up to date, all of that stuff. All of that stuff takes, a giant plan to make sure that everything's being done correctly. And it's a big thing. So if, like we've been talking about for this episode, if nothing changed externally, what would eventually break down internally at the end of the day? How does that feel? Like what are some of the small things that you're tolerating right now that can be fixed to make you more efficient on all levels? What are some of those things? Like what have we normalized? Have we normalized not having the materials the day of the job? Like, is that a normal process, or is that like a once and every now and then that happens, right? What what is going to break down first if the business slows down, if my calls stop coming in as much as they were per day, like what is actually going to break down, figuring those things out and finding out those they may be small problems, they may be big problems, but finding out those problems and knowing, having a plan to fix those problems is key, very much key. um that's all I really got for you guys. Like I said, I don't exactly feel the greatest. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. But just before we start making huge plans to go into 2026, maybe break back the books, give it a fine look over. You probably already know what the problem is, to be honest with you. Most people do know what their problems are. And just get a plan to fix your problem. Fix that problem so that way you can go into the new year and you can win. Um, and then at the end of the new year, fix the next problem, right? It's always about fixing this problem and that problem. Just have a plan to get them all fixed. With that said, you guys have a wonderful freaking new year. Be safe and come back and build some fences on Monday. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. I promise you, I won't be sick. We'll have an awesome show. You'll have a wonderful rest of your night.